In this video, we're going to talk about the Stalwart and Eruptor combo against the bugs. And in order to make this work, we're going to need a lot of crowd control, and we are going to need some tools to take out Bile Titans as well. You're not going to struggle with the Shrieker Nest. You're not going to struggle with the mushrooms or bug holes or whatever. Pretty much, we're going to have everything covered. So let's jump right into it. The first stratagem that you're going to pick up is the 500 kg. Now we're going to pick up the Stalwart, and then we're going to pick up the Gas Rover. And I've mentioned this in my previous videos as well. When you're playing against the Predator bugs, crowd control is king. Like if you don't have enough crowd control, you cannot outrun these guys, and you cannot outlive these guys as well. They are very aggressive with very high damage, and eventually they will catch up. And the only way to throw them off is crowd control. So we are going to be picking up the Gas Rover. And then finally, speaking of crowd control, you are going to go for the gas mines. Now, I'm going to give you guys two other options, but this is not an easy call. You can test this out when you play against the Predator bugs, but in my opinion, the Gas Rover is still going to bring you a little bit more value. So instead of the Rover, what you could do is you could go for the supply pack. Now, the reason this is possible to do against the Predator strain is because in a way, this still gives you a lot of crowd control. And the reason I say that is because once you start using the gas grenades, you're going to have them all the time, right? So you're going to be able to spam gas nades more frequently than you would without the supply backpack. I do think that the Gas Rover in general will save you a lot of the times from enemies that you do not see. That's why I like it a lot, because the Predator bugs are sneaky, man. Like they can pop up out of nowhere, and when you don't see them, you get cooked up. And that's where the Gas Rover plays its role and kind of saves you. But once again, go ahead and test both of these out and see which one you prefer. For the primary, we're going to be going for the Eruptor, which essentially covers, bug holes, Shrieker Nest, mushrooms. You're going to be destroying all of it, and it's going to be one of your main tools against chargers as well. Secondary is going to be Ultimatum to delete impalers and whatnot. You could swap this out for another secondary, but honestly, I would advise keeping this. This is just too strong of a tool. And then gas nades, as mentioned, for incredible crowd control. And once again, the armor, once you're playing against Predator strain, is going to be medium armor with extra petting. So essentially with this build, your goal is to have a lot of crowd control and have the ability to take out bigger targets and whatnot. So for example, for bug holes, you're going to have the Eruptor, so you don't have to ever worry about that. The gas grenades are going to be your friends when it comes to crowd control, and I'm going to showcase that as well. And then the Ultimatum and 500 kg are going to be there for bigger targets. However, oh, there's one pushing right here. Stalwart is going to be there when something's getting close. Obviously, the Gas Rover is going to do work in that case as well. When you're getting chased, you can always drop a grenade under you. It makes your life so much easier, and then you can just melt these guys up, dude. So when it comes to survivability, the combination of gas and the armor we've picked, it's perfect, And you need a lot of it, man. You see how they're almost always confused? It's either from the Gas Rover, the gas grenades, or the way you place your gas mines is going to make a huge difference on how you're going to be completing missions solo as well. Or even in a team environment, right? This isn't just good for solo. It's extremely good for team play as well. When it comes to the spewers, Eruptor absolutely deletes these guys. Like, it's so good, dude. Mushrooms, it just destroys everything. Right here, I'm going to let these guys push up to me, and I'm going to show you guys how I like to use the mines, okay? First, we need to swap to Stalwart. We can't let this guy get close here. Boom, a lot of them. Once again, I'm going to drop a nade behind me. Stim up. Drop another nade behind me, and this is where all the crowd control comes in handy, right? So that's going to keep us alive here for an extra second, which gives me the time to drop this beauty. Once that's on the ground, you're good to go. Now watch that, right? Anything that pushes in, you can absolutely annihilate. Unless, obviously, it's a Bile Titan or whatever it is. This is where gas mines take your gameplay to the absolute next level when it comes to the Predator strain. Like, you can get jumped just like that, or you can kind of get flanked, so you always need to pay attention. But usually, if you play around the gas mines, you're not going to have any problems. Because, it spreads out in a way that you can use it to your advantage so that every angle is covered, okay? And then, obviously, you have Eruptor to take out these guys. The Impalers, now, these guys are very important. You either focus them really fast with your Eruptor, as you guys just saw there, or you delete them with the ultimatum if you have an opening. And once again, look at that, right? The warriors are confused. They can't get close, and that's literally thanks to the gas mines. That's all it is. All you got to do is just like place them in a smart location and then start rotating around it. Oh, there it is. There it is. And this is literally why I love running Eruptor. The fact that with a primary weapon, you can clear these so easily. I absolutely love it, bro. I love it. And obviously, the fact that in general, it does so much damage. The shrapnel is so good at the moment. Just makes everything so much more simple. You can close down bug holes. Once again, boom, I'm getting pushed. Gonna drop one of the gas nades right under me there. And boom, look at that, right? All these predator dudes. Oh, they're just tripping around. Now, for the Bile Titans, obviously, we have the 500 kg. We have the ultimatum. Another thing that you can do is, if you do have an opening, you can try to go for the tail with the Eruptor right away, right? The reason is they're not going to be spewing, obviously, if you do manage to hit those shots there. And also, it makes the kills more consistent. You know how sometimes 500 kg doesn't like fully get them or so on? Once you deal damage to the tail with the Eruptor, that is no longer the case. They will consistently be going down, which makes it a perfect combo. So if you do have those openings for the Eruptor to go for the tail shots, always do that as well. It's just going to make it easier. And the same is true for the ultimatum as well. Like, you go for the tail shots, and then if you hit the ultimatum, it will way more consistently take him out, so you don't have to worry about leaving them alive and so on, okay? So you shouldn't really have any problem with bigger targets. Now, for these guys, this is where it gets interesting, right? The gas rover makes it much easier for you to deal with them. You see how the gas rover is absolutely cooking them up, right? You just wait for your angle, and then you go for the tail. Like, that's going to be the best way to take him out, unless you want to obviously like cook him up with the one and only. Boom. Is it the second one done? No, I think we probably need one more. That's one charger already down. And you see what I mean, though, right? Like, they're just roaming around, you know? They're just chilling, essentially. They don't create a problem for you. You could literally have 5 of these guys running around. And as long as you have, like, gas distributed correctly, they mean nothing. Like, this build counters them completely. Shelik says, wouldn't using anti-gas armor make more sense with this much gas in general? The thing is, the way I like to play is around the gas. So if I'm doing that, I'm not really running into it as many times. However, you could run gas armor, but your survivability is not going to be the same, because the deadliest thing is not just going to be the gas to you if you play it right. It's going to be the one and only predator bugs. So one thing you need to make sure of instantly while you're dropping in against the bugs, especially max difficulty, you want to get your gear, especially for this build, right away. The reason for that is we have Eruptor for our main weapon, right? So if something pushes you, you can't really take shots close up, and the secondary is ultimatum. So you want to make sure you have your stalwart ready to go max RPM, okay? Also, resetting with this build is not super easy. While resetting, if you do go down, the first goal needs to be that you just rush the gear ASAP. The way I like to do it, if I just fly down, I don't have my stalwart, my gas rover. So even let's say if my gear is right over there, I'll drop a gas grenade on it, right? Then stim and then push in and just pick up my gear ASAP. The gas grenade will get the enemies off of me, and the stim will keep me alive. That way you can reset, okay? That is something that you need to keep in mind. Because, you know, it's Helldivers 2. You are going to go down. And in order to reset in a very comfortable way, that is something you need to do. Use the gas grenade and the stim to just push in immediately and get your stuff.